wanna sleep in, cause I got something to prove. I gotta take what I hate and finally make a move. I think of you and all the shit you don't do. Well, I'ma make hella sure that I don't become you. I have no regrets, yeah, I'll tie up my chest. I'll never forget what it's like to be in debt. Been stabbed in the back bed, I'll show you what happens. Pass me the mic and I'll show you with action. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you could never own. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you could never own. So fight and fight and die for the things you know you love. Do what you think is right, and see life do what you want. So fight and die for the things you know you love. Do what you think is right, and see life do what you want. So give me all the scars, I'm a human being. Cover them with tattoos so you can't see. Knew it from the start, you had problems with me and the things I could be, I just wish I had seen. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you could never own. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you can never own. So fight and die for the things you know you love. Do what you think is right, and see life do what you want. So fight and die for the things you know you love. Do what you think is right, and see life do what you want.
I was built to last with the webs I'm weaving. I could change the past with all I'm achieving. Got my foot on the gas, never stop competing. If you break my glass, then this life's gonna end.
I wanna be the best in the game, invest in my name. Check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain. I ingest, I retain, assess and I change. Possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints. Money, clout and fame, mud, disease, a plague. We all love to hate, have to play the game, have to make a name. All our insecurities are on display. This is war with the enemy, think that it was meant to be. Living in a time where disease is on every screen. I won't let them fester me, I know most are festering. Negativity is a plague for the mentally weak. No mercy, all I got is working. Never stop searching, never quench the thirsty. I'm toxic and psychotic, with this logic you can't stop it. It's been chronic since I was a boy, so neurotic and chaotic. Built to last with the webs I'm weaving. I could change the past with all I'm achieving. Got my foot on gas, never stop competing. If you break like glass, then this life's gonna eat 'em. Make mistakes real fast, then you learn how to beat 'em. If you take off the cast, you can see all the healing. If the pain's in the past, move on from the grave and put your foot on the gas. No, never stop competing, yeah. I've been doing this, I'm on it. I just wanna be iconic. Sipping on a gin and tonic, got me going off when I'm on this topic, yeah. If I ever play, I want it. You know that I'm always honest. Stay away from those who are toxic. Keep them out your face, no way, you don't want them, yeah. Don't try to drain my energy. The enemy is everything. It's mentally, unhealthily, spreading like a rare disease. But I won't let it get to me. I don't need your therapy. I can leave a legacy of leading by intensity. Come on, we can fight this. Freedom is priceless. Spread just like a virus. Living in a crisis. Do you feel courageous? Do you seek greatness? Trust me, you can take it. Go on and take your aim. Yeah. Built to last with the webs I'm weaving. I could change the past with all I'm achieving. Got my foot on gas, never stop.
Woo! Yep.
What's up, everybody?
Going on. Yeah, I believe so.
Yes. Tanks.
It's very true. Very true. That's not me. Not me. Thank you, John. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, John, thank you, man. We appreciate you, getting us on here and everything you do for Hendrix. Yeah, we appreciate it, man. We're here to have some fun and maybe tell some good stories. Yeah, yeah, we did. Sure. Yeah, yeah. Nice. Oh, nice. Dude, that's sick.
Well, that's awesome. Daniel, you've done that.
Yeah, I have.
Or actually, you fished with a guy.
Yeah, a guy. I was having kayak issues back when I had my inflatable, and I was really bummed out because I had all my stuff. I got everything ready, all that preparation and everything, and I got derailed by my stupid kayak. And this guy was putting in his boat. He's like, "Hey, man, you having issues? Like, you want to come fish?" I'm like, "Dude, heck yeah, let's go." I mean, we only caught 2 fish all day, but it was just a good experience and good people and everything like that. John, and I know as a fellow content creator, I want to make sure you double check that your mic is not muted. Like sometimes that happens whenever you're doing these, so double check it. Gotcha. No, no, you're good, man. You're good. Hey, but let's go back to you talking about how great I was about whooping you 2 times in a row, and this
2 times.
Hendrix 2 times back to back. I'm just kidding, man. No, it was that. But I got a little honey hole over here. It's and I have to swallow some humble, take a little bite of the humble pie, and actually say I caught my biggest fish on a drop shot. So thank you to
Gross.
for talking me into stupid drop shot fishing. But yeah, I caught like a solid 4-pounder on that stump thumper little tree spike and motor oil. So really good bait. That's a really cool bait actually. But no, yeah, it was a good box, man. This last one was a good box. I know that you're talking about how Nebraska is going through a pretty harsh transition right now, going from the heat of summer to that, because y'all actually get true fall up there here in Texas. For Dylan and I, we Texas gets a pretty, I would say it transitions, but it's a very slow transition for weather and water temps and stuff like that. Like the mornings right now are about 20 degrees cooler probably than like what we've been used to. It's going from about 78, 80 degrees in the morning now going. So we're still like today, we still hit 100 degrees. So it takes about the full month. What do you think? Like all the way through September to actually get the full transition done, and through a little bit of October as well.
Yeah, probably right. But Mother Nature is she's a crazy force. And I remember almost 100-degree days at Halloween a couple of years ago. So you're talking the end of October, and you're still in the mid to high 90s, But it was just like last week or the week before up here, we were down in the 60s in the morning, and then it was only getting up to 85 to 90. Now it's like it's right back where it used to. It's like 75 to 80 in the morning, and then it's 100 to 105, heat index throughout the day. So you just never know. Just like what I try to obtain it to is focus on, for me personally, is focusing on the actual water temperatures themselves, not the ambient outdoor temperatures. That's why one of the reasons I run a graph on the kayak is just because whenever I see those water temperatures, me personally, get below 80 degrees, I know it's about to be on. Like it's about to be, because you can go from 80 to 90 and it changes everything about bass fishing. Absolutely. They'll go and hide, they'll get lethargic, and then you got to pull out the stupid drop shot to try to catch it, So yeah, yes. I don't know exactly when the transition, whenever I can pick up a hard jerk bait and start waxing them on it, then I know the transition is on. But I have seen them chasing. Well, this was back like 2 weeks ago when we had the 60-degree weather in the mornings. They were chasing shad big time, like I hadn't seen them chasing before. So I thought that it was on then, but then I was like, man, it's probably a bit too early. So
right,
I don't know. I didn't get out last weekend, so
they were chasing shad yesterday whenever I was fishing in the morning. So.
My fault. Whenever I know I'm in the fall transition, that's when the hard jerk bait bite is on, and it's one of my favorite times to fish.
Actually, yeah, I tied it on yesterday, and I didn't get a single bite on it.
Oh yeah, the box was solid. I had no issues with the box. The main problem for me was because of the way the lake's changing, and we have the different species and stuff in the lake. We got pike, we got bluegill, crappie. Right now, if you guys wanted to come crappie fish, we would be on 13-inch crappie for days. And it'd be, we could have tacos and everything. But the pike are super aggressive, but it's anything that's red, orange, white, and moving. And then the bass, it's kind of the same thing. The same colors, but they want a moving bait, and they want it to be, the bass are hanging out a little bit lower, and the pike are hitting up, sitting up a little bit higher in the water column.
Right.
There's no more thermocline in our lake. It's just everything's kind of settling. The water's starting to clear up finally, which, oh my God, it got super gross and green, and the algae was horrible there during that major shift. So if I would have waited a week, I probably would have done better.
Yeah.
But that, going in blind, not knowing what the lake was, hey, it is what it is. I said I'd do the challenge. I did the challenge. It's not that I didn't catch fish. It's just when especially now that I have live scope, you can see the bass, and they were not feeding.
Dude, it's tough. I mean, it's tough right now. I feel like I hear that from everybody, from all the research I do and watching other content creators' channels or on Instagram, it seems like with the Hendrix family, everybody's having a hard time. Other than like Dylan said that last week here, where it cooled off pretty significantly. Dylan waxed them pretty good, but
3 days in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say I saw some posts there where you were pulling some tanks out.
Tanks.
I was.
Like-
I found a pretty good bite. Found a pattern and just stuck to it.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, I'm excited though. This time of year, and especially now that this change has started and the water's clearing up, I'm excited because, for example, this Sunday, my plan is get out bright and early. I've got a 6-inch trace tied up, and it's either going to get destroyed by a big old pike or a big hungry bass because I have a feeling these bass are going to start to finally move up, start feeding. If they weren't feeding here this last weekend, they will be this weekend. And this is usually when I pull out one of my bigs. It's always early spring for me. In fall, I always pull out my biggest bass. Summertime, I get some decent ones. I mean, I've posted them. You guys have seen them. I've got some decent ones.
Yeah.
But man, those for Nebraska, those 4 or 5 pounders that we chase, this is that time of year to hit them.
Yeah, so it's exciting. It's just it's just nice, man. Like Dylan said, once the transition sets in, it's some of the best fishing year round.
Yep.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's gonna be good for content.
I have to laugh. My Provo's in the chat, and he said, "I need to enjoy my freedom before fatherhood." I have been squeezing in as much fishing as possible. Don't worry.
I was just about to say that you probably need to go fish as much as you can before October 3rd's here. So.
Yep. If he doesn't come earlier, who knows?
Yeah, exactly.
Hey.
Exactly.
But no, I plan on getting as much fishing in.
Yeah.
Every weekend I'm out. Wednesdays I'm off, but obviously tomorrow I won't be going fishing because we've got baby appointment in the morning, and then we got to meet the pediatrician and later that day just to make sure we like them.
Gotcha.
So.
Gotcha.
Crazy busy.
Oh yeah, man.
It's weird though, and a lot of guys can cry. I'm ready for ice season. I know you guys don't get ice season, but I'm ready for it. After
something I have no experience with.
Oh well, I'll put it. We were a couple of the guys up here. We were joking about it. I think we were so invested in tournament fishing this year that we got burnt out on open water fishing.
Yeah,
like we didn't necessarily lose the fun of fishing because like I still love going out. I love doing the videos, but I'm ready just to be able to sit back, look at LiveScope, and just catch whatever I catch and not worry if I got a big bass or a small bass. Can I catch did I get a fish? Did we not get a fish? And just go and just, drop a line in the water basically.
Yeah.
Plus the joy of ice fishing, you never know what the hell's going to bite.
Dude, I've never done it. I mean, and I'm sure Dylan, you never done it, right?
No, I've never done it. No. We don't have any ice down here.
I know you guys don't. You guys are down in Texas. There's no ice.
I know,
Oh,
for that. What was it? 2 years ago, 3 years ago? A couple parts of
yeah.
Texas.
Oh
actually
boy, that was bad. That shut down the whole state.
Yeah, dude.
And what was it was one of the Guggen guys that's originally from Chicago. Didn't he actually try go and ice fish a couple of the ponds? And was on the news or something, I think was what I heard.
Probably.
I don't know.
I mean, it's bad. It's bad whenever, because I work with a guy who's from New York.
Okay.
And he's like straight New Yorker, all right? Like straight up from the Bronx. And he's like, man, I moved down here, and dude, they came out and they like on the news, and they're saying like, he's always saying like, dude, it's like ice, and he's like, boy, it's Texas, dog. I don't. And he walked outside. He said he had like short sleeve shirt on. He said he walked out. He's like, okay, that's a little cold. He said he walked out a little bit further. He's like, damn, that's cold, bro. Like, dude, it was cold here, like super cold. Something we're not used to.
Come here.
So,
it's
good.
I get all the looks, so I get to go down to Texas a couple times a year for my job, for training.
Right.
And this year we're going in October, which I'm excited because last year we went in July. Oh my God, I couldn't get naked enough. It was hot,
dude. It's blazing here, man.
I'm hoping when I come in October, it's cool mornings, and I'll be the guy sitting there literally in shorts and a t-shirt while everybody else probably has a light coat on, and they're going, it's cold. I'm like, nah, it's going to be nice.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah, it's just, man, it's brutally, brutally hot here with the humidity levels and everything like that. And so once it gets if it gets cold like that again, we're just not used to it, Just like how you Nebraska guys or whoever else are really used to our deadly freaking heat here. But it's Texas is pretty bipolar when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Now you guys, are you guys originally from Texas then?
Yes.
Well, Daniel, don't you shake your head. Yes.
Okay.
Daniel wasn't born in Texas. I was.
Okay, so where in Texas were you born?
I was born in Kaufman, Texas. It's a suburb southeast of Dallas.
Okay.
Yes.
And then this other brother that says he's an original Texan.
Yeah. So my father was going through some hard times. My Dylan is 2.5 years older than I am, I believe, or 3 years. I can't really remember, but about 3 years older than I am. And my dad was going through some hard times framing. He frames houses for a living. That's what he did growing up most of his life. And now he's building houses. But he was going through some hard times back then. And he had a cousin who was up in Virginia framing houses. And he's like, hey, man, I know it works tough down there in Texas. So why don't you come up here? My mom flew up there with her being pregnant with me about the burst and my brother. And so while up there living there, I was born in Virginia. And we were there probably about for 1 year or maybe 2 years. And then we moved back to Texas, and I've been here ever since. So not originally born in Texas, but Texan by heart, I guess.
Okay. Now, I know you guys are huge when it comes to American companies and veteran-owned stuff. And I always got to ask, because I always get confused with the guys in the group. Did either one of you or both of you serve then?
I served in the military, and Dylan did not.
I did not.
Okay, but you did. What branch in the military?
I did. I was in the Navy. Did my 4 years in the Navy from 2009 through 2013.
Okay. And then
what?
Yep.
Didn't do much of anything while I was in. I was a parachute rigger. Never touched a single parachute. Stayed in California for 3 years. Never got deployed. So it was just kind of like just like a job, with really strict rules and stuff. And then that just kind of snowballed into everything else I've done in my future career. So I work now in law enforcement. I can't say specifically what agency I work for, but I work for law enforcement, and that serving from in the Navy is just kind of just snowballed itself and everything else I've done in life. So
gotcha.
Yeah, I love, but this bearded bad man next to us over here, he loves everything about America too, and and if I haven't met another dude who loves America more than me, other than my brother, so.
I was gonna say I'm waiting for the Instagram post where you're holding an absolute tank and in like an American Speedo or something. just bearded wonder holding like a 10-pounder.
Right.
Well, he would have. Oh, me.
Yeah, I'm talking about you.
I thought you were talking about Daniel.
No.
Daniel's the one that wears the Speedos.
Yeah.
So I was gonna say we would have to Photoshop one of my tanks that I catch with him and his Speedos.
Ooh.
And you have to Photoshop the beard.
Oh. Gotcha. So you said 3 years older. Little brother goes to the Navy. So what were you doing in that time frame?
I've been working for Union Pacific Railroad since 2007.
So why can't you get me my cars faster?
Well, I don't have anything to do with that.
I'm blaming you. I got stuff stuck in Canada. I got stuff stuck in Mexico, and it's all your fault. I'm just gonna blame you.
That's fine. That's what I tell everybody. Just blame me.
Yeah.
No, what? I guess you don't necessarily have to stare exactly. But what do you do for? I guess how long you been working for UP then?
It was 15 years this April.
Oh wow. Okay. Now are you doing this a similar job to when you started, or have you completely switched tactics?
No, it's basically the same thing. But just I'm in the signal department, so I have like a 50-mile stretch of territory where I'm in charge of all the crossings, all the switches, and all the signals. Trains run just like cars do on the highway. They have red, green, yellow signals and switches that throw the tracks one way or the other way to basically what I tell people is, a train's going down the highway and then it breaks down or it's going too slow. It needs to exit off into the feeder road. Well, you got a switch machine that moves the rails that way so that train can go in there and let another one come by. So I'm responsible for the signal system and crossings and stuff like that.
Oh.
So like if you're sitting in traffic and the gates are down in front of you and you don't see anything, that's when you yell at me.
Oh, gotcha. Well, I'd rather them be down and not see anything than them be up and obviously, or them be up and the train's coming.
Yeah,
I'd rather it
that's
be
true.
broke the other way.
That's true. That's how you lose your job real fast.
So every time you hear a dumb train honking his horn, you can say that's a paycheck for my brother.
There we go.
Yep.
My
You can
brother,
say
big
paycheck.
bills tomorrow.
Well,
Paycheck.
a
baby.
fellow Texan, TX Huntsman, he had a poke at you. He said, Navy, California, so a glorified Boy Scout camping trip? Winky face.
Yeah. Absolutely.
He obviously is saying that with love. Like if he was talking in person,
yeah,
it's
course.
all jokes. Because
No, it's all
that
good,
is
man.
another gentleman
I
who
like-
I absolutely love is Texas Huntsman.
Oh,
I'd
he's
had
great.
him on the show one day because he supports any and every small fishing company.
I know. Yeah. It seems like every time I get into like a live chat with any like it could be Stump Thumper, it could be Hendrix, it could be yours, John, it could be mine, it could be Colt from Jawtech started like anybody's live video. It seems like Texas Huntsman's always in there talking. So
Oh yeah.
seems really like a really cool dude and everything like that. And
Well, and
all fun.
he's kind of like me. He's not scared to just give back, especially when there's younger fishermen or people that are just gonna. He's like,
Right.
send him a box. What? And people are always right. It's like, nah. He's always just cool about giving back to the fishing community, but also he gets out and fishes himself. So it's the good old fishing karma.
For sure, absolutely, man, absolutely. I try to do that. I've been doing kind of like the same things lately. I've been every time like I see like somebody near like the boat ramp or whatever who I meet on the water, I've been throwing them backpacks of Hendrix products and packs of Jawtech stuff. So I'm just trying to spread the love.
Absolutely.
Yep. Yeah, like I tell folks all the time when in my videos and stuff is if you see me, just come say hi. I'm not gonna be mad at you. Wave me down. I was like, and most of the time I've got product on me, and I'm willing to share it.
That's one thing about every angler who has a watercraft. They take way too much crap with them every time.
I kind of do that on purpose for that reason. I've had
well, I do it just because I think I'm going to need it.
Are you getting eaten alive down there? For anybody that's not watching, I'm sitting here laughing because Dylan's sitting down there waving his arms around, flapping a hat around. Are you gonna live?
It's dude, the mosquitoes are as big as pterodactyls down here, dude.
Oh
Yeah.
man, we had that problem probably
They're
two
huge.
2 months ago. We had that problem. My legs got eaten alive. It didn't matter bug spray, no bug spray.
Oh,
Now
dude.
the problem is we have horse flies.
Oh yeah.
And the bad part is as soon as you get a big old pike on the boat, obviously it leaves some slime around, so you wipe it up as best you can, but it instantly attracts the horse flies. And those bite worse than the dang mosquitoes.
Oh yeah.
Worse than the mosquitoes. Oh.
No, thank you.
So who got into fishing first? Obviously, I know, Dylan, you're older, but I mean, was this something you guys both kind of got into together? We
didn't really have a choice.
Okay.
Yeah, there's pictures of Daniel there's a picture of Daniel in a diaper and a Scooby-Doo life jacket holding a fishing pole.
Yeah.
So it's been from birth. It's been from birth. Our dad was a big angler back in the day.
Now was Dad just loved fishing, or did Dad try getting into some tournament stuff?
You want me to take this, Daniel, or you want to?
Please. Yeah, Dylan, you know more about the family history.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
so my dad was big into. That's where our love of fishing came from. So Dad was a big Bassmasters guy back in the day. Loved watching Bassmasters, and then he loved tournament fishing and still does. He doesn't really like going fishing for fun unless he's competing. He will. So he did a lot of the qualifying tournament trails to qualify for Bassmasters. One of them being Angler's Choice.
Oh yeah.
Tournament trail, which was a big one down here in Texas. And he actually competed against Edwin Evers in a few of those tournaments down here in Texas. And he competed in a lot of those, did pretty good. I think he won a couple. I know he had big bass in a couple of those.
Wow.
And then he actually went through the runnings to, I don't know how it all worked. I was a little kid back then, but I know that he was trying to qualify for the Bassmasters I guess you just want to call it the Tour or the Elite Series or whatever it was back then. But
yeah, one of the trails.
He made it all the way to the final, to where the last tournament, like the top 10 or 20 guys got to go fish the Elite Series. And I think he lost by, like he told me, 2 to 4 ounces. He missed the cut.
Wow. See, I don't know if the trail, that'd be something I'd ask your dad. I don't know if the trail would be harder then or harder now. Oh, I love the photo.
There he is.
For anybody listening, if you hop over to YouTube, you can rewatch this. He's showing a photo of Dad. I love it. He's got the old hat, the shirt bass, going.
Old school bass champions on, yeah. So this is a cool picture.
But
Dad.
I just don't know if it'd be harder or easier then versus now. Because now, I mean, back then it came down to knowledge. Straight.
Oh yeah.
And that's why I love talking to older anglers, because their knowledge, I think, some days can outbeat most technology. I mean, don't get me wrong. The technology nowadays, it doesn't lie. There's the fish.
No graphs, no fluorocarbon, just straight monofilament the entire time. Those big old damn Abu Garcia Ambassador open-faced reels, the giant.
Oh man,
I mean, it's like that's all there was.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. I mean, I would put my dad up against anybody with no electronics. Straight up, take your baits, go fish. No grass, no nothing. I'd put my money on my dad every single time. That
guy can fish a deep diving crankbait better than anybody I've ever seen in my life. He can go to Lake Fork and crank the stumps in 20 foot of water and catch toads.
Jeez.
Straight tank.
I wish we had.
I've seen him catch 3 overs, which, if you don't know Lake Fork, there's a slot limit. 16 to 24 inches has got to go back, so an over is a fish longer than 24. I've seen him catch 3 overs in 110-degree heat. It was July 4th weekend. No wind, no nothing, calm bluebird skies, throwing big, giant Lucky Craft DD22 crankbaits. He caught 3 bass over 24 inches on a pressured Lake Fork in 110
You're
degree
talking
heat.
Double-digit bass, as long as they were fed up. I mean,
most of them were pretty skinny, but you're still talking A+, all 3 of them.
Yeah. I mean, you're not talking small bass. I mean, these are.
Yeah.
Big
ones,
talking, because you have, I think, what is it? Because I was looking at the chart the other day, because that's one thing I've started to challenge myself here in Nebraska, at least, is like they have the Master Angler program, and I know they have something similar like that. Sorry for the background noise. Wife's getting ice. I'm not going to yell at her. She's pregnant.
Oh, you're good, man.
But they have that Master Angler program, so I've been doing a lot of studying, and I'm finding out that how you can really kind of coordinate length with weight, and it's fairly close, obviously, depending on the time of year and if they've been feeding, not feeding.
Gotcha.
And it seems like a 20-inch bass is going to be about your 4 to 5 pound bass.
Right.
So you're talking a 24 inches, because the problem is when bass hit 20 inches, they stop growing necessarily lengthwise and they start getting wider and taller.
Yeah.
So if you're talking 24 inches, A, that mouth is going to be giant.
Yeah.
B, if you're 4 to 5 at 20, you're easily a 9 to 10 if in normal times. Now, spawn season, that thing's 12, 13. And then like you were saying, if he was catching them in the heat of summer, they're feeding, but they're not really feeding up, skinned out. I mean, you're probably an 8-pounder, but God, just to see that mouth come up.
Oh, dude.
Freaking jaws coming out of the water, but it's a bass.
So I went and pulled this off the wall, but this is the crankbaits he used to fish here.
Crazy. And they paint the craws, or not paint, but they put the craws on the
lip. And 15 years ago, these were $20 a piece. And there's actually a replica of a 10-6 that he caught at Lake Fork again on this exact crankbait right here.
So dad being a huge bass angler, you guys didn't have a choice. Are you glad he got you into fishing though? Because
financially no, but
well, the reason I ask is the one thing TX Huntsman said in the chat, other than thanking us for what we said to him, he said fewer X boxes, more tackle boxes. Did you guys find that more? And now obviously you're a little older than myself, but so I mean you still had gaming stations growing up, but did you find that kind of true? As you guys grew up more with the rod and reel, more with hey, there's the outdoors, go have fun, less here's a gaming system.
Absolutely. I mean, I think there was a happy medium to it.
Oh yeah.
Right? But I mean, we had fun playing games, video games or whatever. But Dylan and I were consistently going and fishing. I mean, it was more. We more got into we got more into fishing the older we got.
Mm-hmm.
So once we became teenagers and we could go beat the banks, you know, and stuff like that, more knowledge, and then especially whenever Dylan started driving, we started fishing way more, and a lot more.
I'll admit that. I think when I was younger, like I always enjoyed going fishing with my grandpa, going fishing with dad.
Sure.
But you know, after an hour or two, you'd be like, I'm done, I'm bored. You know, you want to move on. And but I think when it was about high school, I fell in love with fishing more because it almost gave me that sense of that, you know, that freedom. You know, when you're a teenage boy, you're like, I want that freedom. I want to be, because it was, Dad would be like, you want to go fish? Yeah, grab your rod, grab the car, go to the lake.
Yeah.
Just make sure you're home by whatever, or at least call me if you're on the bite, so that way I know you're you didn't fall in and dying. But I was there by myself, or I'd have friends come join. It was just like there was no rules. I mean, obviously there's rules of society, but I mean, it was just nobody telling me to clean something. I mean, it was just I had my rod and reel and I was catching fish. Nobody yelled at me, nothing going on. That was my thing. And then as I got older, it just became more of that escape, I guess, is why I kind of.
Dude, that's what it is for me. Now these days, man, it's catching fish is a bonus for me. Just getting out there is so soothing for the soul, and being that close with nature, especially in a kayak. You're so close to the water. You're so close to the elements and the birds, and those birds are so. Next time you go fishing, John, pay attention just to the stupid birds and how funny they are.
Yeah, they're birds. Damn birds are.
That's like Dylan. That's like our thing. Is like watching the stupid birds.
And then them dumb the dumb turtles, man. I can watch those stupid turtles swim around all day.
So, I do. So with the birds, I do watch. The ducks are funny. The ducks are funny to watch. But I also watch the ducks where they're swimming along shore and where they avoid, because I've started learning this. So we're having big pike in our lake, they eat the little ducks. So I've learned oh my God, why are the ducks staying away from a certain area? Why are they huddled in a certain area? It's because they're getting pinned.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then the other days when I'm struggling, where it's like I can't find bait fish to save my life, because usually if you can find the bait fish, you can find the big fish. It's just standard, circle of life. I don't know if you guys have cranes, big sandhill cranes and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we got cranes.
Pay attention to cranes. If you start,
I love them. I love watching.
If you see where they're huddled up, or you see where they're slowly stalking, there's fish over there.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
I mean, for me, I have no electronics. So I use all birds. Whenever I go out and fish, I'm following birds to follow the bait.
My dad used to tell us when we're fishing. He said, "Find the birds. Go fish there."
Yep.
Find the birds, you find the bait, you find the bass.
And that's been an old thing since, God, I feel like that's like an ageist thing, because, back from the guys, back in the day where they were fishing for food out in the sea and stuff, it's, you see the birds, you see there's bait, guess what's circle life.
Exactly.
Oh, man. So you guys both kind of got into that. Now, did you guys get any tournament fishing growing up then, too, with Dad kind of doing
absolutely.
that?
Absolutely. Oh, yeah.
Were you guys doing single stuff? Were you guys doing team stuff?
Team stuff with Dad.
Team stuff.
Team. So
Dad.
we would just take turns. Whoever was available would fish a tournament with Dad.
Yeah.
And then me and my cousin, he got a boat, and we got into a couple of tournaments. But we fished local stuff like Forney Bass Club, JC Outdoors at Lake Fork, and then every once in a while, if you wanted to cough up the, $350 entry fee, we go fish those big bass champs, which would have 300 plus boats in the tournament, because you're fishing for 20 grand.
Yep. Yeah, no, I've enjoyed more of the local stuff. It's fun. You get that little bit of rivalry going with a couple of the guys. Everybody's chatting it up,
Oh yeah.
But that is one thing I want to kind of cross off the bug list, is I wouldn't mind getting into one of those bigger tournaments just to experience, those bigger lakes, bigger tournaments, and just seeing what I can do.
Yeah, it's wild, dude. It's wild.
But
I haven't done it in so long. Damn, it's actually, now think about it, I haven't fished like a bass champs in forever, dude.
Now you guys don't live in the same city anymore now. Is that correct?
No.
That's correct.
So how far away are you two then?
4.5
hours.
Ooh, okay. So you guys probably get together to fish every once in a while, but it's a rare occasion now.
Every once in a while. Maybe twice a year, man. It's not too often, unfortunately.
Yeah, if only you guys were just a little closer to Dallas. I mean, I could change my return flight.
I'm an hour from Dallas.
Yeah, Dylan's an hour.
It's tempting.
He's
An
not too
hour
bad.
east.
It's
Yeah.
tempting, yeah, because
I'm-
I get in to where I could basically go throw a line Thursday night, and then we're there Friday, and then I have to leave Friday, but I could always change my return flight. It's just on me then, no big deal. But by then I should probably get home because by then
Mrs. Part-time.
by then the boy will be out and moving, and she'll want me home. She gave me permission to leave for a night, so.
Yeah.
Now, do you guys
Gotta get back
you guys
home.
got family of your own then?
I do.
Okay.
Yes.
What's
I got
going on?
I got a wife.
No wife, no kids down there. Jeez.
Big deal. Yeah, he's married. Just no.
Oh, I'm
kids
married.
yet.
I'm married, but we rescue dogs instead of have children.
Okay, I can't yell at you for that.
Yeah, at least he's doing something, right?
We're big into the dog game.
Gotcha. So
Yeah, I got 2 kids myself.
to get
of mine.
what ages are you got over there?
My daughter is 7 and my son is 4.
7 and 4. Okay, so have you started getting them into fishing? Are they enjoying it? Have they wanted to go?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So my I've tried so hard to get my daughter to catch a bass, and it's just so tough to try to channel a 7-year. I've had her fishing since she was like 3. You know, she didn't have it just like me. She had no chance.
I feel bad for my son.
Now I wasn't as brutal as my father. My dad forced my brother and I to learn how to use a bait caster at the age of like 5, and how the tribulations and trials and errors was just so. It was a beat
So
down.
you learned your first cuss word at 5.5. Got it.
Right, exactly.
That's exactly right.
At 5 years old, I had my daughter dialed in on the spinning reel, so she's been rocking that thing pretty good. And the other day, she caught her first catfish. Wasn't her? What? She hasn't caught her own bass yet, but she actually had a catfish come up, eat her bait, set the hook, reel it in, and it was just like it was a surreal moment.
That's cool because even
surreal.
small
Dude,
catfish fight, man.
And she reeled down and ripped. And I was like, oh,
Nice.
She's ready to go punch the mats.
yeah, oh yeah. I did, and then my son, my son, he's a sensitive one. He's funny. He's 4, of course, but I tend to forget he's only 4 years old. And I set the hook for him on a catfish, and he got scared. He wouldn't hold it, so I was like, oh man,
Hey,
come on, bro.
I
But
don't blame
it's
him.
all
I
good.
hate. I don't
He'll go
want to
out.
hold catfish, man. I've been stung a couple times. I'm good.
Oh, for sure. No,
Yeah.
for sure. He's funny. Yeah. So so I've got them into fishing, man. It's been good.
All right, so we just gotta get
Really.
Uncle Dylan up there, show him how to catch tanks,
Oh
and
no,
explain how
my
Dad can.
kids. Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, he can tell them all the stories of all the big fish I don't catch, but it's not. My kids call him not Uncle Dylan but Uncle Fat Boy. That's how they
Uncle
know.
Fat Boy.
Yeah, that's his name, Uncle Fat Boy.
Oh man.
But yeah, I catch plenty of 4s and 5s. I just for some reason I can't get over the old 5-pounders for some reason. I don't know. It's coming. I know it's coming. It's
See,
just,
that's why I was excited. I was like, man, at the very least, I'm gonna tie you this box. But man, I ran out of options. I lost a couple baits. I'm like, oh, I'm out now. I can't even tie them. I was like, but even if we tied, I was like, I'm gonna get the bigger fish. Especially when I
Yeah.
saw those pike school, and I'm like, I'm gonna win just because an 8-pound pike's gonna smash this thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I
Yeah.
did get a big old pike to hit. It just unfortunately wasn't on a bait from the box. I've been having a good luck with I don't know if you guys have checked them out yet. Those snagless jigs from One Cast.
Dylan just ordered some.
I've got $100 order of those coming my way.
Did you get them from the Instagram? Their Instagram store?
I think so.
Okay, because if you order, and I'll let everybody know, because I might have to start doing this as a weekly video drop for folks. I'm always finding the deals. I love sharing deals with people because if you can save money, you save money. But One Cast Fishing, if your first order on their Instagram shop, you save 20%.
Oh, I definitely didn't do Instagram shop then.
So if you fall in love with their snagless jig series like I did, your second order, go ahead and do through the Instagram shop, and you'll save yourself some money there.
That's a great idea.
Because
The
That's
snagless
a
jig.
really for sharing all the deals. That's a good. That'd be good for everybody.
well, and I just got my new 6 cent sack in, which I can't wait for you guys to see what they
Nice.
sent in this sack. I can't believe they actually provided it in this sack. I'm not going to ruin it. Y'all have to see the video.
Oh,
I can't believe they put it in there. It's exciting. But they also have a coupon, and I'll share it on my Instagram, so you guys make sure you're following me on Instagram. But they have a code for a buy one, get one 50% off Milliken series rod.
Oh, wow.
which that
Wow.
right there, the Milka series is pretty affordable. I think if it's what is it 190?
Well, it's like 100, 115, 120.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's like their cheapest line, isn't it?
It's like it's
Yeah.
120, and I don't like using the word cheapest. I get everybody goes to that word. I'm in sales.
Sure.
I've had to teach myself not to say cheapest because
It's the least expensive.
it's the most budget friendly.
Budget friendly.
But you still have to remember it's
There
still
it
a
is.
6 cents rod, which if you haven't experienced one, they're amazing rods. I mean, I'm a huge loose rod guy, but I've had 6 cents rods before. It's just they do a really good job with the rods. And so you're 190, let's call it 120. So you could get 2 rods, high quality. And the best part is they label the rods so you know what kind of technique to throw on those rods. So you're 180 for 2 rods.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You can't,
That's
you can't
bad
beat
to the
that.
bone.
So
No,
like I said, I'm definitely gonna just have to start doing maybe just on Instagram Reels or something. Just start doing deals of the week because
I think so.
I'm always
I think that'd
I'm
be
always falling into deals or meeting up with different companies. I have to look at my phone, but I was telling you guys in our little chat we have with all the pro staffers, and I think you guys probably know the company. I've never heard of them. I'm guessing they're from what the owner actually said they're from down south, so that's why they don't do a lot of it. What's the sporting store called? There we go.
I don't know, but I'm a huge fan of 6 Cents.
Yeah, I'm lucky. You guys are lucky you're closer to them. But
Yeah, I'm like an hour away.
Sportsman's Outfitters.
Yeah,
We
I've been there.
don't have them here in town.
Mhm.
The guys went ahead and I was in one of my like bass fishing groups on Facebook, and I just posted saying, "Hey, anybody have a discount code?" Because I was looking at one of the new Signature Series rods for loose. I was like, "Anybody have a discount code?" Guy actually messaged me and did more than just give me a code. He hooked. I can't share the deal. He asked that I don't share what the deal was, but just by talking to him, we were talking about stuff. He didn't even know I did a YouTube. Didn't even know I did Instagram. He just knew I was a guy looking for a deal on a rod. Didn't only just get me 1 rod. Hooked me up with 2 rods. The guy knows how to sell. But the deal was crazy, and he just said, "Hey, go ahead and share where they got it, and if people want to message me, yeah, we'll always hook them up with stuff." And I checked their site out. They run stupid deals and stuff. They're always like, buy 1 get 5 of this pack's free. It's just like,
Oh, wow.
I don't know, I stumble
Yeah,
across
that's it.
stuff like that, and it's just like, okay, does anybody else know this is going on? Or like, I got those Crowd DCs a couple months for like $200 a piece instead of $260 a piece. So,
That's sick.
It's awesome.
but
John's all about the deals.
hey, fishing doesn't need to be expensive, but man, when you start getting into it more, it
Bro.
becomes expensive. So if you can save the pennies,
It is crazy.
Yeah.
and don't get me wrong, do I need Corrado DCs? Do I need the
Yes, you do, John.
No, do I need the rods I have? No.
Yes, you do, John.
But, and I'm going to put it in big words, but, because if you gave me an ugly stick with the, a Walmart special bait caster, I could probably still put a whooping on some fish. But I've learned fishing certain techniques that you can actually, as you get used to those techniques, those rods make a difference.
Them technique-specific rods, man.
But until you actually put the time in to dedicate to those techniques, you won't notice those things.
Right.
Like I have a specific, and you gave it, you actually caught one. I have a specific spinning rod just for drop shotting.
I'm sure. I finally found my chatterbait rod, and I was losing. I've lost some fish on a chatterbait.
Yep.
About a year ago, I finally found this 1 6-gill rod I like a lot. It's a Kratos series. It's a medium heavy. They say it's for crankbait fishing. Bro, I've been driving home, bringing hooks, roofs to the mouth, all year long with this rod, and I didn't think it would be my chatterbait rod, but it is my chatterbait rod.
Well, and that's the thing is a lot of companies make, and I know Dylan, you were doing some videos about your rods and reel setups. I know you've done a couple on YouTube. A lot of companies say this is meant for this technique. But if you actually go break it down to actually what it is, like, let's say 7 foot, medium, heavy, fast action, and the bends here, then you're like, oh, okay, it's this strength. It's that. Yeah, I can actually use that for this, that, and other techniques. So, like,
Absolutely.
I use the loose rod I use for my jerk baits. It's technically their topwater bait caster rod.
Mm-hmm.
but it has a stiff backbone with just a fast tip, so I can sit there and just whip
Mm-hmm.
jerk baits all day.
Yep.
You know, their spinner bait rod I use just as an all-around rod because it handles things from a 3/8 ounce up to 2 ounces.
Right.
And that's just a good
Yeah, it's a
medium
very-
heavy, so it's a good universal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a very good point, because I fell into the trap starting off as, buying a rod, and it said, all right, this is our jig rod. So that's all I threw on it. I just flipped jigs with it.
But,
When I came more knowledgeable,
start.
I realized that it had a lot more uses.
Yeah.
But I like that though, because I mean, more and more companies are doing this where they're branding their rods for the technique.
I do like that. I do like that.
Especially,
Me too.
I wish that was more around when I kind of got into this
Whenever I
more,
was starting.
because
Yeah.
man, I didn't know. I was trying to watch YouTube videos. I was trying to follow other people because I'm like, ooh, yeah, I want to. What kind of rod's that? Wait, why is he doing it on that rod? Why does it not do it when I throw it on this rod? And like, if I would have known, hey, here's a frog rod, great. But then you could find out, oh, that frog rod's also good to do with, this technique, or
Right.
you
I
know,
mean,
it at least would have got me on the right foot. And then as you learn more about your techniques and styles, you could go, oh, I could use this for this, I could use that for this.
right. I mean, I still call my brother to this day and ask him questions about specific rod techniques and stuff, because he knows his knowledge with rods and the gear. It's a lot more than mine is. He knows a lot more about that stuff than I do, and I'm.
Oh, that's so sweet.
It is what it is. I mean, then again, if you ask him to try to edit a video, he's gonna think.
I'm out.
Spanish, so. I mean, but yeah, I wish I would have had the branding of rod specific techniques back in the day, right? Whenever starting out, and I could have really been like, oh, jig rod, heavy rod, maybe 7 foot, 7'2". Okay, that's what you use for a jig. Oh, that's what. Okay, pitch, heavy cover, sweet. Rip them out from the bottom. Okay, awesome. That kind of stuff, right? And I like the like y'all said. I like the fact that they're kind of going towards that now. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, like I said, it's a good starting point, and then, like in your videos and like some of the videos I'm going to start doing, it's a starting point. It gets you in there. You start getting comfortable with technique, and then you can start focusing more on, okay, what if it can do this? It should be able to. And you can start experimenting, and it's just
exactly.
Like, next thing you know, instead of having to have 20 rods on the deck, you can have realistically. So tournament fishing wise, realistically, I started out way too many rods. I'll just be honest. Now you want a good handful of rods because you want to be able to just grab a rod and go, and not sit there and retie, and you lose time that way. But I'm down to 2 spinning rods, and like I said, the one is very technique specific. The other one's kind of like just an all around. And then I've got
spinning rods.
Hey, they have their purpose, buddy.
They do. They do.
More than just drop shotting. You guys love throwing the Nico rig? Trust me.
I do.
Dylan does. Yeah, Dylan does.
Put it on a spinning rod that has a little bit of sensitivity to it.
Oh, I do.
And
I do have one. I do have one spinning rod, John. You'd be proud of me. And I actually have a new one on the way.
He does.
Well, this is just coming from a guy that was like you. I only carried bait casters. I thought spinning rods were, well, fairy wands, whatever you guys want to call them, et cetera, until I started watching more and more of the pros, and not necessarily just like the best, but like more and more of their content and how they actually broke down and why they were throwing it. And then one day it clicked. So I went out, grabbed a medium range, didn't break the budget spinning rod, and just forced myself to throw those lighter, more finesse techniques on the spinning rod.
Mm-hmm.
The bites I felt, like it's to the point now where I can tell you, oh, that's a bluegill, that's a crappie, there's the bass,
Right. Yeah.
And
when I 100%.
was throwing that kind of stuff on a bait caster stuff, it was just like, oh, tick, yeah. And you didn't get that sensitivity. Now, yes, they make rods and stuff, but I'm not spending that kind of money for those finesse bait caster setups when a nice, affordable spinning reel gets it done.
Right.
But yeah, like I said, I'm running 2 spin casters, and I think I'm now at 5, maybe depending on the weather, 5 to 6 bait casters. So I'm running 7, 8 rods on the deck. But 2 of the bait casters are a universal setup. They're my grab and goes if I need to. Oh my god, I need to throw something on. And then the rest are depending on the lake we're at. I've got a good crankbait setup, but if we're at a lake that's all grass, that rod's staying in the truck. Now that
Right.
rod,
Yeah.
unfortunately, yeah, it is a dedicated crankbait rod. It's one of those glass rods. It is meant for crankbaiting. I never thought I'd get a glass rod until I tried it and realized, oh, the stuff you feel, you can feel the
Oh.
wobbles in the bait. It's
You said, "Oh, hello."
yeah. It's like what is this?
I like the glass rod myself.
Yeah, glass rods are nice.
And it's just it's been fun. I've enjoyed getting into it, but I mean, you guys kayak fish. You want to talk about money,
Bro.
Oh, it's not boat money.
It's not boat money,
dang
that's
near.
true.
Oh,
No,
okay, hold
it's a
on.
one-time purchase.
Without getting
Like,
too personal, how expensive is your setup?
so my setup, when I bought it brand new, and it was, let's just say $2,500, and that's the 12.5 foot kayak, and it comes with the seat, the platform, the pedal drive,
Okay.
but it's ready to go. $2,500. Let's say I throw another $1,000 into it. I'm probably sitting, $3,500
Okay.
in the vessel itself.
Okay.
But
I'm talking.
any repairs I can usually do myself, cheap.
Okay.
That's it. Doesn't have to go in the shop.
Dan, is your setup fairly similar, or is yours a hair more? Hair
Yeah,
less?
so mine, I have a newer kayak than Dylan, so the price is a little bit varied. So I'm about $3,900.
Okay.
They're about my rig right now with no electronics is
Now I know
$3,900.
it varies from every state, every city.
Sure.
You know, for like call it $3,500, I could actually go get a ready to go older bass boat.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Now,
Mm-hmm. And then in 6 months, you're gonna have to spend $3,500 in the shop
for what though?
for the lower unit, the
both
prop.
fine.
I mean, the electronics are gonna get fried.
Oh.
A boat is a hole in the water that you pour money into.
No. It only is if you
That
don't
is what
take
a boat
care of
is.
it.
No, I know.
You're talking
I
to
know.
a guy that
I
has more
know.
boat than he wanted to get, but his wife wanted a
love-
fun boat, so we got the boat.
Boats
we
are
got.
awesome. Boats are awesome, but I will say there is some joy, especially like let's say during the spawn season when them suckers push up shallow, when the bass boats have to turn around because they can't go any further, and I just cruise by. Say hi.
I was
I'm
gonna
go
say
catch
that is one of the
hawks here.
advantages that I've almost
Yeah, it's
almost
cool.
wanted to get a yak, is because you could get into those places where the boat can't.
And you can be
Yeah.
so quiet,
Quiet.
Well,
So
that
quiet.
and
so quiet.
just loading in and
and-
out's
and-
easier with a kayak than the boat
I mean,
That is
by
true.
yourself.
and I don't have to fill up my kayak with gasoline.
Oh, no gas.
Yeah, see, if you move up here, you don't do that anyways because a lot of our lakes are no wake.
Oh, there you go.
So
But I would
I'm
say,
still
I would
rocking
say
the first tank of
biggest-
gas from this season.
Nice.
I would say the biggest downfall to kayak fishing is this is where the boat comes in handy. He's like, hey, all right, I'm going to go fish this cove on the other side of the lake. And it's like, okay,
Yeah.
so A, I'll either see you there in 3 hours, the time it
Yeah.
takes me to paddle across, or B, I'm going to go back to the boat ramp, get all the rods out, put everything back in the truck, load the kayak, and drive around to the nearest ramp.
Yep. Wherever you put in with a kayak is where you're dedicated.
That's
for the whole
pretty
day.
much,
It's
yeah.
simple.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you put in a big cove and a kayak, I mean, you're there. Even if you get a little out, you can get a little outboard, a little trolling motor on it, but I mean, you're still not going to go 4 or 5 miles an hour, probably.
So do you guys
About it.
feel limited on a kayak though?
No.
Okay. Well, I meant limited in terms of like, because man, it's pretty easy on the boat. I mean, in terms of landing fish, the gear you can bring.
No, I don't feel limited at all. I mean, at first, yeah, because it's completely different, right? But I mean, it's just like anything else. You do more reps, you get used to it. I don't feel limited. I feel confident if I have it now with the bait I'm comfortable with. If I have a jackhammer on and I feel a bite, my confidence with a chatterbait is damn near 100. So like I feel that bite, I set the hook. I know for almost 100% I'm going to land that fish. It's especially in a kayak. I mean, I could, and while like I set the hook sitting down, I'll stand up, work them around, and then come back and pick up my net. I net almost every one of my fish because for content, I want to net it. I want to hold them, show it off, everything like that. I'll boat flip some, but like I want that fish for my content. You know what I'm saying?
And netting,
so like
netting is actually better for the fish.
Sure,
Well,
I think so. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. You're not ripping something out of the freaking water with some hooks in their
because
mouth,
you're
you
not
know?
putting that pressure and you're not getting those different angles on their jaws. So that
Right.
and then that's kind of why I like where the MLF series has gone to where you have to actually lean down, grab the fish, it can't hit the deck or you lose point, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
You weigh it, and it goes right back in the water.
Right back in the water.
I still don't know why the Bassmaster series hasn't got to that. I understand everybody loves a good weigh-in. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know. I think the MLF series, the Bass Pro series, has got it figured out because it's just better for the fishermen. I mean, you guys live down by those bigger lakes. What is it like fishing in one of those lakes after one of those series goes through?
Oh, dude. I mean, I've never really done it just because I know it's going to be picked apart. But, Dylan, have you ever fished after a big tournament like that comes through Fork or something?
I have, and there's about twice as many boats as you would hope there would be.
Because everybody just saw so and so catching them over here, so now they're going to go.
Yeah, even if it's like a week after a tournament, and you're expecting, let's say, 100 boats to be on Lake Fork, there will be 200 boats on Lake Fork. That's why I don't. I'm only a 30-minute drive from arguably the best bass lake in the country, and I don't ever really go.
Yeah, I mean that's where we grew up fishing was Lake Fork. Yeah. So, I mean, John, last time I went and fished Fork was Dylan. When were we there? Whenever you had that hotel room?
Yeah, that was
a couple months ago. Or, no, it was last year. I don't remember.
I was gonna say it's probably about 6 months ago.
Yeah, probably about 6 months ago. I went there. There was no big tournaments going on, John. Nothing like that. At the boat ramp, I met a family, a dude and a son. He's like, we're from Missouri, coming out here. I never fished Fork before. It's just on the bucket list. Just a random weekend, a guy and his son out again, and they're trying to catch a tank here at Fork. I mean, this is people from all over come to Fork.
Yeah.
So especially after that tournament, though, dude, it's people everywhere.
Well, I feel bad for the fishery though. I mean, because you're talking how many fish a day go inside of a live well.
Yeah.
And you hear about all the time that fish get lost. So it's like, man, how many potential tanks or how many tanks have we lost because of tournaments like that?
Oh, absolutely.
That's true.
And there's no doubt about it.
I mean, that's why I'm a fan of the kind of the newer series where it's like you don't put a fish in the live well.
Right. Or I mean, like kayak tournaments, it's CPR, catch, photo, release.
Yep.
It's
Well, and that's what our local tournaments, just because
I wonder about that.
So our regulations here in Nebraska, to keep a bass, it has to be 20 inches or bigger. But that's because the bass just don't grow like they do down there.
Yeah, let's say there's not too many 20 plus inches.
And sadly, I've seen. Not going to call out what type, but I've seen folks catching other stuff and then catch a 4 or 5 pound bass and go, holy crap. And they add it to the bucket of fish.
No.
Yeah.
But technically, yes, they can keep it. But unfortunately, they just don't understand that, that's rare for us. I mean,
right. Well, I mean,
it takes, that's an older fish.
I mean, it takes work. It took a lot of work for Fork to be Lake Fork, right?
Yeah.
And there's a plethora of 3, 4s, 5, 6, 7, 8s, and 9s and 10s at Lake Fork. There's a plethora of them. I mean, even 10 pounders. Granted, will Dylan and I and my dad catch multiple 10s? Maybe. I mean, maybe. But like, if you go and watch the pros, those guys in a weekend at Fork, there's 5 10 pounders, maybe more caught.
Oh yeah.
So there's a plethora of huge fish, but there's a lot of work that went into making that lake what it is, right? And it's heartbreaking to hear whenever people who just don't know, especially up there in Nebraska and northern, I would say north of Oklahoma, that how rare it is for you guys to have a 5, 6 pounder up there.
That's a trophy for us. You catch that and you're like, dude, we share it around and it goes around the Facebook and everybody's like, dude, that's awesome. You get the question of which farm pond did you get that at? Because there's some farm ponds with some tanks. But then, then they find out, dude, that was at the public lake. Huge. Everybody gives you a huge shout out then. But I mean, so because of that, that's why our tournaments are, we weigh them. We don't measure them like in kayak, but you catch it, you put it right on the scale, you record the whole time. So one guy's recording with the timestamp amp, showing, yep, here it is on the scale. Yeah. Both my hands aren't touching it. we drop it, release it right in the water, and there we go. And that fish is boom right in the water. Wasn't out for too long. We didn't have to put it in a live well. We weren't stressing it. But
yeah, real custom art does a good job of holding the camera.
That was he just decided he wanted to be camera guy. We both had the app, but like last year when I was fishing with one of our other buddies instead of Jeremy, it was I was always the one doing camera because he didn't want to accidentally not record something properly or not save it properly. But it just became one of those like I grab the scale, I grab the fish, and we just you get the system going, and that's just how it was. We didn't ruin it.
Awesome.
Heck yeah.
But no, it's so any traveling coming up for you guys?
Traveling. I don't think for me, no. I have nothing planned.
So you guys just need to come and experience ice for the first time.
I'd love to. I think it'd be a great time.
You're not coming up to Wise Creek?
I need to come fish Wise Creek for sure.
See, Jeremy and I can hook you up with some living arrangements. You guys just come up here for a weekend. We'll make sure there's some solid ice.
I got to make sure I'm not on my diet and I can drink things. I want to have some ice cold beverages on some cold ice.
That's the one thing I'll admit. So we're not. Everybody gets that stereotype of when you're on the ice fishing, you just drink. We actually really didn't drink beers ice fishing because
insane.
Well, the problem was we found a honey hole last year that was just insane.
Oh, really?
And we were having more fun because it was the first time we ever got electronics out ice fishing. So we were having more fun watching electronics, and so we were more occupied actually fishing. But it was fun being able to watch and trying to decipher: is that a bluegill? Is that a crappie? Is that a bass?
Sure.
Is that a pike? And then you kind of figure it out. Like we'd be sitting there, and you're like, okay, the way those are schooled out, that's a bunch of bluegill, and where they're sitting in the water column, and you'd be banging bluegill all day, and you're just having a blast catching hand-sized bluegill.
Bluegill are
then
fun.
Crappie would come through, and you're like, "Ooh, that's a And then every once in a while, you catch a bass that's swimming through. But then all of a sudden, the screen goes blank, and you just see the fattest, biggest line move right across your screen, and it's a big old pike.
Yeah.
And then when it hits one of the rods, oh my God, you're on like a little 3-foot rod with 6-pound mono, and you're hoping for the best.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You're opening up that drag. You're just going, please God, stay on. Don't bite off.
Oh, for sure.
And then all you see coming through the hole is jaws.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
But that's the other.
I never caught a pike. I want to.
That's the other fun part though. It's just you never know what you're gonna get. When you're out open water fishing, okay, if I cast over into here, there's bass. There's blue. Every once in a while, you're like, oh, that ain't no bass. What's that? You catch like a catfish that was up shallow or something like that. But when you're ice fishing, you hook on and you don't know what it is till you get it up to the hole.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool stuff, man.
Oh, yeah. Huntsman said he had to laugh at milk and fishing. He used to crap on Texas fisheries, and then he suddenly moved. Correct. So he actually lived down the street from my folks.
Oh,
and
really?
I've actually fished with him and met him. I had some photos on my Instagram. I think they're still on there. He's from Omaha area, so we've bumped into each other. We actually fished against each other in the tournaments here locally. So we hit that whole series where he was local doing the local fish tournaments and destroying it that year. Yeah, I was in that tournament getting my butt kicked, but that was a learning experience for me because that was my first year ever doing tournaments, and found out tournament fishing is a whole different ball game.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're getting. I know you guys were talking about hundreds of boats on a lake. We got smaller lakes, so you get 20 plus boats on a lake. That's full.
Yeah.
Like you better have a spot, because if you don't have a spot, by the time you get to your next spot, there's already been 20 boats gone through it.
Yeah. And then you got to play the game like, man, if I leave my spot, am I going to have my spot? I have nowhere to go. Crap.
Yep. But yeah, I do have to laugh too, because he did used to hot crap out Texas fisheries, and then now look where he is.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't get me wrong, I ain't gonna talk crap. I'd love to come down to Texas. Trust me. When it's not a work event, the wife's already okayed it. I just got to figure out some time, and you guys might be getting a message going, okay, hey, I got time in this month. How's it looking for you guys? And
come on. Well, we'll go take Dad's boat out on the port.
I just want to get out and just experience a different body of water, even if it's like a small pond. It's a different style of fishing.
Well, John, we'll just take you to the best lake in the nation.
Oh, don't do that, because then I'm either gonna have the worst day or I'm gonna get so spoiled I won't ever want to leave.
Exactly. Just bring the wife and the kid down here.
Well,
It's a toss-up. Yeah, you never know what's going to happen on fork.
I am
Yeah.
I am a cocky guy, but at the same time, I've got plenty of guys that can back this up, including my wife. If you guys did come up here and I get you on the local lake that has the pike and stuff, I won't catch any fish. I'll catch a couple. That's what happened with the old guy I picked up on the boat when you guys watch that video. I always get new people on the lake on fish, and I always get them on their first pike. I keep all the guys here joke I should just be a guide service and just take people out on the local lake.
That'd be cool, man. You should do it.
Oh man, Texas husband said I got to get down there. He said he'll meet us up at Fork.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm gonna come back and have an accent and everything. We're gonna be in trouble.
Dude. From you being from Nebraska, do we have an accent? Because I feel like we don't, but
Yeah,
I've been told we do.
Yeah, I mean, I always ask people if we do, just because my problem is being in sales, I adapt to my customer. So
Sure.
it's real bad. I had a customer come up from, God, where in Texas was he? San Antonio. But he was running a ranch. He had, your guys' isn't as deep as his, but he had such a deep draw and everything. About midway through our conversation, you thought I was from the same town as him. And then if I go to try, if I try doing it right now, nope, couldn't do it. But it's just,
No.
I get that mimic going.
Sure.
So yeah, trust me, I'd come back from Texas fishing with you guys, and next thing you know, I'd have a huge accent. Everybody here would be like, what's going on with you? Why are you talking like that?
Right.
But no, you guys, your accent isn't too bad. It's on the lower end, and I think, like the Huntsman said, it sounds like Texas accents are very regional.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah.
Like I said, you can tell
Absolutely.
you guys are from the South, but it's not like a deep draw. It's just
Yeah,
smooth.
it's not hillbilly. It's not
Nope.
hillbilly yet.
But yeah, I was wondering what people think from, like, us Nebraska people, just because we're right in the Midwest. I feel like we all just sound
Sure.
flat.
Oh, don't you know? Oh,
No,
geez.
see, you gotta go north.
That's Tyler.
Minnesota.
So that's up by my Well, no, that's up by my family in the
my
Wisconsin and
dogs out.
Minnesota area, and like North
The
Dakota.
dogs. The
Go let
dogs.
my
Yeah,
dogs out. Tyler.
yeah, he lets his East Coast accent come out, and it's
Yeah.
funny.
The dogs are
I'm gonna go to the car and get the dogs.
Dude, so John, if you don't mind, I would like for my brother to tell a quick
Oh, go
story
right
real
ahead.
quick.
Yeah.
So Dylan, I want you to tell John how Heavy Z fishing got started.
Ooh, I can't believe I forgot to ask that.
How it got started.
Wait, come on, bro.
Well, like, yeah.
It wasn't nothing.
How did you guys decide? Was it the YouTube channel first, or was it the Instagram?
You,
It was YouTube.
yeah,
So we'd
YouTube.
always toyed around with the idea, right? Just throwing some content up on YouTube. And we had talked about it for years. And Daniel mentioned something one time, and then I told him, I was like, you know what, man, I've kind of been thinking about just starting a channel. And then we didn't say nothing about it. And then one day, out of the blue, like a month later, I got a text from Daniel. He said, I'm starting a fishing YouTube channel, ... with or without you. And I said, shit, I'm in. Let's roll with it.
You didn't have a choice.
No, I didn't have a choice. What am I going to do? Say no?
I mean, you could have, and then it just would have been Heavy Z.
yeah, exactly.
And
Exactly.
that was what, a year ago, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, we just passed a year. So
This past year? It's been a
yeah,
blast.
September 1st was 1 year. So
It's been a blast.
yeah, it's been good. Thankfully, I have a switch I can flip on, and it's basically the I don't give a f attitude, and I don't. And basically, if I say I want to do something, I flip that switch and I'm like, I'm doing it. I don't care. And it can literally happen within a couple seconds. Now I know I'm not the best fisherman. I never will be. Somehow I know I can catch fish every once in a while, but I knew in the back of my head, I was like, dude, if I can get my brother on YouTube, that's the ticket for me. To get him on YouTube, for him to talk, for him to show people what he's capable of doing, because he catches nothing. He catches a lot of freaking big fish. And to show where he is in Canton, Texas, and where he is, there's so many good spots for him to go fish for content wise. It's unreal. Dude, starting it out, I had never edited a video in my entire life. Never. I was on my cell phone. I was using this thing to edit everything
geez.
at first. It was horrible. Oh, dude, it was bad. I don't know how I figured it out, but through trial and error. But it's been great, and just like it's a great dynamic that we have, us being brothers, and then 2 parts of Texas, and I feel like we offer a different angle, I guess, to because bass fishing content is so flooded and it's so
everywhere
saturated market.
It is,
and
I
just feel like what we're doing is just a tad bit different, being brothers and being 2 different people constantly,
goofballs.
So, the reason I like your guys'
Idiots.
content is it almost reminds me of kind of like my content and why I got my channel going is, like you said, the YouTube. Oh my god, the bass fishing YouTube, especially when COVID hit, it just got flooded. And
bad.
the bad part, what I'm not a fan of, is everybody's doing the Walmart challenge. Everybody's doing the, can I fish with this gummy worm? Can I?
Yeah.
And, the first couple of videos, I'm like, all right, that's kind of fun. That was cool to watch. But it's like, that's some content creators. That's all they do now. So it's kind of like long in the tooth, to where guys like yourself, guys like me, it's just we just record we're average guys going out fishing. We know some stuff. I'll tell you, I don't know everything. I'm still learning stuff.
Sure. Every
but
day.
I feel like just sharing my adventures on the water hopefully helps others learn something, kind of get out there.
Right.
And yeah, there's days where the fish win and I don't catch anything and I have to eat a little humble pie. And there's other days where, man, I got on a big one, and sometimes I can tell you how I did it. Other days I'm like, the fishing gods just blessed me, and that's how we got here.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just junk fishing. Sometimes.
But, and that's what the brother aspect of it that you guys have going. I love, because videos where you get you, Daniel, it's kind of more just your standard. Hey, I'm going out fishing. I got a little bit of time. We're hitting the kayak. Here's what we're doing.
Right.
And then it's always just like, oh, look what I ran into, or hey, look what I got. And then Dylan, yours are fun because they could either just be dead serious, which I enjoy sometimes, or the other time you're just a character. It's not just the beard. You have a good on-camera presence, and it shows. Where it's fun. You're hooting, you're hollering, you're taking a goofy picture with a 7-pound bass, and I'm going
8 pound,
8-pound bass, and I'm sitting here with my 2-pounder going, but look what I did.
Yeah,
I caught one too.
Much appreciated, John. Much appreciated.
I
just like to. I'm not gonna change. That was one thing I told myself when Daniel wanted to do a YouTube channel. I told myself, and luckily, we never even talked. It never came up in conversation. But I was like, I am not doing I ain't gonna be myself 100%. When I'm out on the water and I get pissed off, I'm gonna cuss like a sailor. Daniel's gonna have to edit out all the cuss words if he wants to. And I'm gonna have fun, and I'm gonna be goofy, and I'm just gonna be myself.
No,
and
I love it. Like I said, I wish you two lived a little closer, at least for the content. I feel like if you guys were fishing more, the content would just be outrageous.
Oh man!
Even with you both on different kayaks, I mean, just the conversation you'd have in between would just be a hoot to listen to.
Yeah, because my brother and I, we have a special bond.
Is that what your mama told you?
Absolutely. But the bond didn't just come from nothing. We've been through a lot of stuff, a lot of hard times together, and experienced a bunch of crap in our lives to bring us this close. But it's a special thing that we have. So you'll see it with a lot of people, and they just ain't got that kind of relationship with their brother. So it's number one. Our bond is like really tight, and then number two, we have a bunch of funny and off-topic discussions, and we poke fun at each other all the freaking time and talk crap
constantly.
So it's and hopefully down in the future we'll get closer together and we can make that happen because it's fun. I love doing it. Go and mess with our dad and get him on the water again, and he's a character
I need
too.
some dad content.
It's on there. I have a day on there with
we need
them.
We need some new dad content though.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, we do.
He's a character.
We need someone to actually show us what it's like to catch fish.
It's true.
Yeah, it's very true. Very true.
So what does Dad think about all the new technology? Does he use any of the new?
Hates it.
He hates it.
Hates it.
Really?
Hates it.
He doesn't even run. He doesn't even have down scan. Nothing. No sonar. He didn't even have. He has nothing,
What-
not even a depth finder. I at least want to see how deep the water I'm fishing and what the temperature is. He doesn't even have that.
What about rod and reel? Is he very old school methodical that way, or does he
Yes,
enjoy
dude.
some of the newer stuff?
Dude,
No.
I tried to rig up some of his stuff with fluorocarbon, and he was like, "What the hell are you putting on my reel?" He said, "I want 20-pound mono."
Oh, God.
20
Dear God.
pound mono.
Dude, I think he throws his crankbaits on mono. I think he throws everything on mono, and he will go out there and just. Oh man, his special is he has he is. I hate it so much, but he loves to what's called dead stick a Cinco, right?
Oh, that sounds brutal. I can't do that.
Oh, he literally just throws it out. He
it's
throws
so
it out,
bad.
and he lets the Cinco do his thing. He'll sit there for 5 minutes, and then he'll twitch the rod one time, right?
No.
And he's looking for flat, grassy banks. He actually won an
Yes.
Angler's Choice tournament doing
I
this.
believe it.
He had like
I believe it. I just
He had
I
like a
can't do it.
27-pound sack, I think.
Oh,
but
Yeah.
but his actually this is his fluke rod. So his fluke rod, he runs that old deep gold line. It's so deep
It's
and gold
ugly.
and gross. And then he runs a big ass swivel and then a mono leader to just a watermelon red fluke
Oh,
on like
man.
a 6'7" rod that's got 3 guides broken, and he waxes them. He
Yeah.
will throw that
Oh,
fluke
boy.
to where you wouldn't even pitch a jig into, and he
Dude.
will pull out giants. I don't know how he does it.
I can't do that.
He'll-
I can't just sit there and dead. Trust me.
Dude, he'll sit there and just sit
Oh.
there.
I
He'll
can't.
just
do
sit
it.
there. It's the
And
most boring thing.
It sucks.
man.
But,
Do you-
but then all of a sudden he's rolling in a 6-pounder, 7
Dude, yeah, he's catching them.
Uh-oh. Do you guys know
Also that-
Adina?
Oh, Dina Moon.
Yeah.
That's my
That's
mother.
our mom.
That's the mama?
That's mom.
Okay. Yeah, she said she did tell you guys were special. So
Thanks,
even,
Mama.
even
Thanks,
mom likes
Mom.
to poke. I love it.
Oh, absolutely.
This is my kind of family. We'd have a good time.
Oh yeah, we all do it.
Oh man.
See,
Huntsman says much respect. Dad's old school and it works.
It's true. It's very old school.
Oh, see, that's the thing is, I'm finding out, and I've noticed some things. Is some of those old school baits and old school techniques are actually catching fish better now because the fisheries,
They kind of got
the
away from
fisheries
it.
have gotten too used to everything that's on the market, and everything on the market, like we talked a couple episodes ago,
Yeah.
is all becoming the same.
Well, now, yeah.
Yeah.
Remember when the Texas
It's-
rig went away?
Oh, and then now everybody
Yeah.
throws a Texas rig.
I do. And then the shaky head was the thing.
Yep.
Yep.
Now it seems like Texas rig is back.
Well, but
Yep.
Texas rig and drop shotting is back more because of technology, though. Because when you can see the fish and you can control the way the bait gets to the fish, that's why those techniques have gotten more popular. Same with like offshore deep cranking like your dad used to do, except your dad did it without technology. Because of
Yeah.
technology, there's more guys throwing deep diving cranks because they can see the rock pile that's 60 yards out, 30 foot deep,
Yep.
and they
Yep.
see the bass and they're dragging it, So I mean,
Yep.
it's, I don't know.
I mean, I just hate that. I hate watching people fish and they're looking down
And they're
the
staring
stream.
at their screen the whole time. I'm like, dude, you're not fishing,
See,
man.
See,
Yeah,
I get
I
yelled at
mean-
because I got this technology. I scored a great deal on it from Marketplace,
Sure.
but I'm so bad about keep forgetting to look at it. Well, because
Yeah, I
I'm kind
can't, man.
of like your dad. My dad never got us in any fish finders or anything, so I've gotten used to just you have to visually break down a lake. You have to go fish it.
Right.
Then I got my first. I got the boat, so I got my first. Down scan. Your standard sonar setup.
hmm
That was impressive to me because also I'm like, oh, that's why I was getting bit here or something. You find those drop offs, you find those brush piles. You're like, oh, like you just, you start finding all those things that you're just like, that makes sense. So then you could find other parts of the lake that had those similarities. You found more fish.
Right.
Now I got live scope and it's like, I like it. I still got to play with it more. I'm not going to lie. I'm probably missing fish on it because I got to get the set. That's the problem. This is the settings on these things. You can't just open it up
yeah.
and hit play. It's,
No.
dear God. But I have caught a couple fish because of it. Like, I think the first time I told you guys I was playing around with it, I caught a pike on a drop shot. Literally because I literally saw him right below the boat. I dropped it straight down in front of his face and watched him eat it. Would I have caught that
Nice.
fish?
It's
Would I have
kinda cool.
Would I have caught that fish
Yeah.
without it? No. But
It's kind of cool.
I've
I'll
It
give
is
you.
kinda-
I'll give you that.
I've also found though where I get back in these shallow pockets, it's 3 to 4 foot of water. Guess what doesn't work too well unless I put it in like perspective mode? It doesn't, live scope doesn't work that well. So
Yeah.
you just have to know, okay, there's going to be fish here, or hey, it drops off right there. So cast there. I mean, sometimes old school's still the way to go.
It is, man. I think it is.
But
I mean, I just think about it how it's just like it's not natural. It's not natural to have this kind of stuff in as human beings, right? To be outside and walking around like this. Same thing. Like if I'm on a boat, I shouldn't be looking down at a screen. It just doesn't seem natural to me.
no,
I'm not knocking anybody who does it. That's fine and dandy, especially for tournament fishing for money.
yeah.
By all means, dude, stare at that screen and win that.
Get
win
every
that money.
advantage
But
you can at that point.
For me, it doesn't really mix well with fishing for me personally.
Yeah.
So I don't do it. I don't plan on putting. If I put any electronics on my kayak, it's gonna be a bare minimum depth finder. Nothing fancy about it, probably. More than likely. Even though I've thought about it, getting like a nice hummingbird or something, but I'm like, number one, they're expensive, and then number two, I'm like.
So I would recommend
I mean,
after playing with all the technology, at the very minimum, especially now that prices have come down on certain things because they're now on the next generation of live scope. It's live scope plus, is getting the first generation pan optics. It's not as
right?
detailed, but you can still make out. Because I have noticed it's been nice going into an area and scanning around and going, oh, no wonder I'm not getting bit. There is no fish. There's no bait.
Yeah,
There's nothing. So why? Then you don't waste time in that spot where normally I'd be sitting there for
That's
like
true.
an hour.
I mean,
going, why aren't I getting bit? You're trying 600.
That is a very good point.
It's a good point.
That's a good point.
I do that. I do that a lot.
It's nice just to be able, and then you could pull up to the next spot and go, okay, there's at least fish here. Okay, they're hitting, they're actually swimming. There's bait. There's that.
Yeah.
And then, that's where I don't, some guys will literally just stare at the graph the whole time. I just kind of use it as, okay, so they're there, they're sitting here. Great,
right.
Cast them this direction. And then I keep forgetting to look back down at the screen half the time.
Sure. Yeah, especially if you're catching them. I mean, there's no reason to.
But like what Daniel said at the beginning of this show, for us, it's watching the birds, looking at the trees, seeing the nutras and the beavers swimming around, and being a foot off of the water. It's just looking at the clouds, all that kind of stuff. It's like going to let's say, John, for instance, whoever your favorite artist is, and you've never been to their concert before, and you go to the concert and the whole time you're doing this videotaping, you're not living in the moment. Yeah, you're not.
I love those people. Those people make me
saying?
laugh hard. Don't get me wrong. I take my couple photos, a little quick video,
Me
but
too.
then
Yeah,
I'm sitting there
but I'm not-
grooving.
Exactly.
Oh man,
Exactly.
I feel like my arms would get tired. There's people that will sit there for a 3-hour concert, arm up
Yeah.
the whole time. I'm like,
Oh, I
what
do.
are you doing? I'm like,
Yeah,
and then
it's
it
just,
sounds
man,
like
people are
garbage
funny.
later. So it's like, what was the point of that?
Oh, Dylan, I forgot to tell you. I'm going to tell this story. I'm going to tell this story on YouTube. I'm sorry, John.
You're
for
good. You're
interrupting.
good.
So they are my favorite bird to watch because they're funny as hell. It's called the cormorant.
Cormorant.
Okay,
Yeah.
cormorant is a big old black fat bird, and they sit up on these stumps here in Texas, and they're so lethargic. Their body temperature gets way too hot, and they have to air themselves out, so they hold the wings up like this. That's it, and they just look at you like this, and you'll be 100 yards away. You'll be 100 yards away, and they just all of a sudden they kind of like look over and they kind of see you coming. They go, "It's like, dude, I'm not gonna mess with you, you stupid cormorant." So, dude, Dylan, you're gonna love this. So I was at Lake Woodlands, and I was pedaling back in. It was a day that I skunked. I had a horrible day fishing. It was 7 hours in the heat. I had no bites. I'm pedaling in, and I saw this cormorant. And he's on the boat. He's on the boat dock, dude. And I get from me to the door. I got close, 10 yards. And he looked at me. He looked over real quick, I snuck up on him. He goes, he put his arms up real quick, and he lit out the nastiest white crap. Just he went, and they're so huge. They're so
Dude, that's what they do. It's so funny.
His butt. They're so lethargic that their butt hits the water, and they flap their arms so hard to get up.
Yeah, they're trying to get out of the water and just.
Oh my God,
Oh,
Dylan.
it's great. Yeah, those things
I got
are
so
great.
close to him, and he let out a nasty dump, bro. I mean, it was so gross.
That's the get at me, bro.
Oh,
you want some of
man.
this?
Oh, that's awesome. I wish I
Dude,
could have seen
those
that.
dang cormorants. Great.
Oh
I
man.
love those.
I wish I could have
And
seen
then,
that.
dude, I love it so much. The stupid birds. Oh, they crack me up.
Oh, so
Good times.
I do have to throw in a little bit of the fun sales pitch, but who's excited for October Hendrix box?
Oh, absolutely. I'm
I
hearing
may
nothing
be
but good
I may
things.
be a little biased, seeing
Yeah, of
as
course.
I did help put together the OG box.
Oh,
Nice.
well, I won the splash pack, the pond hopper, and the OG. I got all three of those coming.
That's good because there will be different baits in each one.
Yes,
You
I'm going
have-
to do a video.
You have
all of them
baits coming
together.
from myself in the OG box. Well, not from me, but I help pick them. Bad Bass Gaster helped put together the pond hopper, and then Hendrix is putting together the splash pack. And
Bad Bass Gator.
And I'm just gonna put you this way: is even with what's going on, if you can't catch fish with what's coming in the OG box, there's no fish in your lake.
Well, I'm excited.
Oh, I heard something power off.
I'm gonna guess you guys probably don't see me anymore, but you still hear me.
I can hear you.
Sounded like a GoPro battery going off.
Nope, it's 110. If you can't tell, I was sweating profusely. It's 110 in my garage right now. And my GoPro just overheated. We'll turn that back on, but yeah, everybody can at least hear us. but yeah, it's I'm excited for it. So who wants a spoiler? Dylan, you want a spoiler? You gonna be okay with the spoiler? Okay, I'm gonna spoil one bait for everybody watching, and everybody listening. I won't show the bait. I'm just gonna go tell you what it is, and if you're, because I don't know I actually don't know what the color is gonna be. But we will have a bait that I have been absolutely destroying lately. We are going to have the one cast fishing snagless football jig in the box. I don't know what color. I'm hoping it's the craw pattern, but obviously all the patterns are good. I'm just hoping not for a shad one. It's not the right time for shad, at least here. I know you guys have shad in your lakes. It works great. Here we just don't do too well with it. I won't leak what bait, but you have a hard bait coming from Stoneman Lures. He's the main hard bait for the OG box, but not to outdo, we also have a hard bait coming from Real Custom Art. So 2 hard baits. You have a bladed jig coming. You have a soft plastic coming from Jawtech. I know you guys love them. I'll put it this way. I made sure you guys know I'm a huge fishability guy. If you get these boxes, I want to make sure they're fishable where you just take the box and go fish. So I'll let you guys kind of think about what might be coming based on what I'm telling you so far. And then you are also going to get a soft plastic from a local here in Omaha, Nebraska company, Hooks. And if you guys go follow him on Instagram, he's done some leaks. And I'll tell you, it's a bait you guys like throwing. He does amazing work with soft plastics. He sponsored our local tournaments, was giving out baits to winners and stuff like that. We fished with them. They're great. I'm excited for you guys to go try them out. He's excited because he can't wait to see all of us fish with the product, blow the content up, showing us catching fish across the U.S. And then he's also excited because I told him, I was like, look, if your stuff's good, we like supporting small businesses. If your stuff's good, guys will go out and buy more of your stuff. Hooks, HOOKZ, Hooks Fishing Co. Yep. And then you also have a gift card coming from Hendrix which the best part about that, it's a $5 gift card. So let's say there's a bait in the box you absolutely loved. You can then go back on the site and go ahead and pick that bait back up. You can use code PARTTIME10. You could use, what's your guys' code? I always forget. HeavyZ10. Either one. Won't hurt my feelings if you use theirs. I get it. They look better. He's got a beard. He's a pretty boy. I feel you. But either one will save you guys 10%. Plus you get that gift card. So right there you get yourself a couple baits. And yes, Huntsman, you better get your box here because you guys got till tomorrow. Tomorrow's the cutoff date. You got to get the box tomorrow. Or you won't get an October box. He will be in the OG box. Pond hopper box wise, I don't know all the baits, but I know the main hard bait or two main hard baits. But the main one is you're getting a crankbait from Real Custom Art, and then you are going to get a crankbait from Active Catch. So I won't ruin what bait you're getting from them. I know a couple of the guys have been posting leaks, so make sure you follow all the creators on their Instagrams. But it looks like whatever broke, they can't hear you guys anymore. So I'm actually gonna wrap it up. I apologize. Plus we've hit that time, but I'm gonna let them know. If you guys want to remind me, so I can let them know what's your guys' Instagram again. So if you guys want to go hit them up on Instagram, it's HeavyZ Fishing on Instagram, and then on YouTube, how is it done on YouTube? Is it underscore or anything? Okay, so it's on YouTube. Go check out their videos. It's HeavyZ, one word, space fishing. Drop them a subscribe. Also, if it's your first time here on YouTube, drop a subscribe to our channel as well at Part-Time Fisher. We're 15 subscribers away, and I have a box that weighed at 20 pounds worth of fishing baits that'll be going to one subscriber, as well as I have a box filled with a bunch of different Hendrix baits from previous boxes going to a second place winner. So make sure you guys are following everybody, subscribed. The content's going to get even better. I don't know who's going to be here next week. If we get bored, maybe we'll get them back on. I don't know. But we're going to get more people on the podcast. Have fun with it. If you guys want to be on, shoot us a message. We're chill. We're having fun. I don't care. You don't have to be a big name. You can be a small nobody. That makes it even better. So, as always, guys, good luck on the water, and I always hope to see you out there.